Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is a Training Tuesday segment here at Suzanne Castle Consulting. I'm Suzanne. I am the creator and founder of the Sparkle Factor, helping you live your life doing business from a place of joy and that thing that makes you stand out more than most, and helping leaders conspire towards greatness as they imagine different possibilities in their lives. And I want to talk about frogs. I know that sounds weird, but hang on to that for a minute because we're going to get to the frogs in just a minute. Frogs are about doing the hard things. We'll talk about it here today. Here's the thing. We don't want to do the hard things, right? I don't want to do the hard things. We like to do the enjoyable things. If something isn't enjoyable, then we at least want it to be easy. Am I right? Give me a hands up and let me know that you're here watching either live or hashtag replay. We just want it easy. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's really just how we are wired. And yet the enjoyable things often aren't very helpful. And the easy things usually don't provide a lot of return for our time. So the ability to make yourself do the hard things is a big determiner of how successful you'll be with your family, any kind of relationship, with your business, and even in your own self. For example, so today, this morning, early, I was doing a back and booty workout with my favorite trainer. And, squats are hard, right? Leg extensions, a little easier, right? We kind of know that. But guess which one is more effective for strengthening your legs? Yeah, squats. Cold calling, expired leads in listings is really hard, right? If you're in sales, that's hard work. But holding an open house as a real estate person, that's a lot easier, right? But guess which is more effective for making money as a real estate agent? Yeah, the hard thing. Think about cleaning, like sweeping a floor. Sweeping a floor is easy, but scrubbing a floor on your hands and knees is really hard, tough work. And you already know which one is going to clean your floor more effectively, right? So consider these things. You have more energy and focus early in the day. Even if you don't think you're a morning person, you do have more focus early in the day. Science will back that up for us. It's easier to do challenging things earlier in your day. So for example, you're more effective at 9 a.m. than you are at 3 p.m. Anybody finding that true? I'm a big afternoon slumpy slump person. So I try to structure my day to attack the hardest things when I'm freshest in the mind, because it's only going to be more and more challenging as the day progresses. And let's face it, as little gremlins come in and the interruptions come in. So if you have something really hard on your plate, do it first or as soon as you can in the day. You can also spend more time on the hard thing. So if you wait later and later and later, you know what happens? Yeah, your time gets compressed, right? So if you wait until later to do the hard thing, you're going to run out of time eventually to complete it in the way with the greatest attention that I think you want to show it. So since the hard thing's often the most important thing, I'm a big believer on spending enough time on it to complete it. And if it's too big to complete it in one sitting, I still break it down in chunks and do those chunks every day towards the beginning of the day. Is this making sense? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so let's kind of think about frogs for a minute. See, the rest of your day is more enjoyable if you're doing the hard thing first. So if you have something unpleasant hanging over your head all day, you just can't enjoy the day as much. So get the hard thing off your plate so you can enjoy the remainder of your day. Mark Twain said, if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat two frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. Mark Twain. So frogs. The rest of your day is more enjoyable when you've eaten your frog. So that's why we want to put it towards the beginning. So think about your frogs. Think about those things and don't wait until the end of the day. It just doesn't work that way. And when you do the hard things, it builds up your self-confidence. It builds up your self-esteem. Everyone else avoids the hard things. So be the person that attacks them. And you will feel great about yourself and know that you can do anything that needs to be done with efficiency, with greater clarity and more focus. And your potential, it will increase greatly when you can reliably get yourself to do the unenjoyable tasks first. It gets it off your plate. You sit up a little better. You listen a little deeper when the person comes in and interrupts you because you've already done your hard thing. It also can really help your career. So if you're tuning in, you're in leadership track, once you're known as the person who can do the hard thing and that will do the hard thing and does it quickly and efficiently, you're going to be highly respected and considered reliable. That's one of those elusive soft skills, reliability. Most people have an excuse for not doing the hard thing. Don't be that person. Avoid thinking too much about the hard thing. It's best to get started on your hard thing without spending too much time thinking about it. Like the frog, right? You knew that was going to come back in. Just eat it. You don't want to stare at it all day. The frog only becomes bigger and uglier over time. You don't want it to grow into a toad. And decide what your frog is for the next day. That probably might be the most important tip here in this little Training Tuesday segment. You see, the night before, I try to determine what the most awful task is for the next day. What's the most awful task? So if it's a day where I'm running errands or I'm cleaning the house, what's the most awful part of that? If it's a day where I'm working in my business, not necessarily on my business, or if I'm working on my business, not in my business, what's the hardest thing? What's the frog? And I try to schedule it as early in the day as possible. So when the time comes, I attack that frog with everything I've got. Here's the thing. Some tasks are just unpleasant. I know I speak a whole lot about joy and happiness, and I get it, but there are just unpleasant things. And there are even unpleasant tasks which provide little value, but still must be done. So I'm a big believer on getting all of that done as soon as possible. I feel better when I do that. If the unpleasant task is of high value, it deserves to be accomplished first, right? If the unpleasant task is low value, just get it out of the way so you can move on to the things that are high value to you. And if you can reliably do the hard things first, I think what you'll find is that you're much more successful. You will also be happier. You knew I was going to talk about happiness, because you won't have to stress about the hard things more than necessary. Because let's face it, we have enough stress in our lives right now, right? Yeah. So anyway, frogs are important, but get rid of them as fast as you can. I'm Suzanne Castle. I'll see you soon on the next Training Tuesday, or on Thought Leader Thursday, or whenever I jump in with something on my mind. Connect with me online at SuzanneCastle.com, and I will see you soon.